on the ChillTalk page.
Talk to me, Cleveland. This is your brother Kevin Chill Hurd, and welcome to what I believe I put on there is like the 26th quarantine episode of Chill Talk. 26 Chill Talks since we have not been at the radio station due to COVID-19. And of course, you see we're here with the lovely super producer, Felicia Haney. I don't know, Haney, where are you at? What's all that noise? Felicia Haney, can you hear me?
Did you say something?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. I'm looking for my headphones.
Okay, find your headphones. We'll get you together. Well, you know, while you're looking for your headphones, we might as well knock this out. Everybody knows that support imanroofing.com. Hit up imanroofing.com for a free roofing inspection. Give them a call at 216-678-9445. That's our brother. Felicia said that she has seen somebody who he hooked up with a good roof. Is that correct?
Yep. Got their roof for the free.
And if you say that you're with Chill Talk, that you're down for Chill Talk, if you saw this information on Chill Talk, not only will your roofing inspection be free, but if something's wrong with your roof, and if you have any workable insurance that they can work with you, he will make sure that he does his best that you will not have to come out your pocket again. Whole roof for the free. That's what I'm talking about. You got to say you're down with Chill Talk. And of course, we repping for my brothers at Spears of the Mossy, Volume 1, and you already know how they doing it. Boom. Volume 2, Spears of the Mossy, Volume 1 and 2. Man, the brothers on the way. Hey, Volume 1 is already in the motherland, in the Gambia. Man, it was an episode on there where the brothers and sisters from the motherland was holding up their Spears of the Mossy. Man, it almost brought tears to my eyes to see that the book has made it back to the mother. And helping them connect with who they are through who we are. Oh my God, it's so good. Anyway, more of that coming up because we have some special information about Volume 3. Big time information. So before we start bringing on our guest, super producer Felicia Haney, where are you at and who are you with?
I am posted up at the Unbar Cafe, which is on 127th and Larchmere in the heart of Cleveland. And it's a little bit of everybody got something going on up here. So I already showed you our main man, Honey Grand, Michael.
Chili Mike Lilly, Cleveland's world's greatest photographer in the building. Man, Michael Lilly. We go way back.
Yes.
Back before the Cadillacs was on flat with 8 tracks.
We also have, I'm going to have to come back in and get my cord.
Okay, you walking down the hallway.
We got, she a little bit involved in a conversation.
Bust in. We busting in the convo.
She a little deep in conversation, but maybe we can get a sneak peek.
Who do you have with you? Okay,
they were stuck to Chill Talk. What's up, family?
Oh my God, it's Meredith.
What's up, Jill?
My girl, the Senate girl.
On the radio.
Oh, are you?
Girl
yes.
In the building.
I'm sorry, excuse me. Oh, you know Chill too?
What up? Oh, look at that. What's happening, my D in the building? Man, y'all, that's the place to be.
You right up in the space.
All right, well, y'all live up on Chill Talk right now.
We deep up here.
Right.
All right, Haney, you might have to move back in because your signal is not as strong out there.
They're actually getting ready to close, so I'm gonna have to do something different. But here's the owner,
Hey, how you doing?
Melissa Garrett.
Wing
That's
owner.
How are you?
so we're live on the radio.
Oh,
That
hey.
is the one and only MC Chill of Chill Talk. I was just telling everybody I was here at Unbar Cafe and to come check it out. So
We have the owner. You're there with the owner. See, that's how Felicia Haney does it. That's how the
yes.
super producer does it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I never knew that's what it was. I only knew.
I know. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Okay, Haney, you got some wrong information.
Yeah, I was getting chastised for not getting her new last name right.
Okay, come on with the new. Let's get it. Is this an exclusive?
No, it's not an exclusive.
Okay. Let's get her name correct. What do we have? Did we have it?
So,
Because I was scared for 30 years. 25.
I am here.
Okay, all right. All right, so what do you need? That's funny. What do you need to do before we bring on our guests? You want to just bring them on right now?
Nothing. You can bring them in. I'm probably gonna have to end up packing up my stuff because they're gonna give me the boot. But that's fine because you guys can chat while I do that.
Okay. Well, here we're gonna bring in our guest man. This is a GCUFF show. This is a Greater Cleveland Urban Film Festival show, and I see we have two people. Felicia, who do we have on here? Can you see? Well, I see Konnie.
All right.
How are you all?
We are well. Well, I can't speak for Chill, but
Anytime I get to hang out with Connie Peroune in the building, and there's the queen, Donna Dabbs, getting her background together.
You know, I have to be about 3 people. So, hi, Konnie. How you doing?
Hey, Donna.
All right, well, you guys, welcome to Chill Talk. This is the GCUFF episode, and we have, of course, my sister, Connie Peroune, that heads up the GCUFFLINKS, and she'll talk about that. But she deals with the kids. She helps the babies, the children, the young adults get their magnificence on in filmmaking. And I've been a part of a few things that they've done. I've been a judge for some of the GCUFFLINKS events, and my God, Connie, you had those kids working it. And of
There's
course,
a lot of talent in Cleveland.
it very much is. And we'll have, get some information from you about what all is involved in GCUFFLINKS. But we have the one and only, the queen of royalness, the executive director of the Greater Cleveland Urban Film Festival, the one and only. 2 names, please, at the same time. It's like a Tribe Called Quest. You got to say it all together. Donna Dabbs in the building. What's going on, Donna?
Oh, I am just in the thick of things right now. So glad to take a moment to be here. So thank you for having me.
All right, Felicia, let's break into this before you get booted out of the Unbar.
I'm sorry. Michael Lilly was trying to talk to me at the same time. There's
Tell Michael
a lot going on here.
I see. All right. Well, let's get Donna to give us a quick overview because man, it seems like you guys just started with the with GCUFF, and now we're on a whole next level.
Yes.
Year 9.
We're on a next level virtual style.
Exactly. For the people who are watching, and I know we have people who are interested in film festivals, and I can already see from the chat that there are people on the line not from Cleveland. So kind of catch us up with who you are,
Okay.
and tell us about GCUFF.
Well, as you said, I'm Donna Dabbs. I'm the executive director of the Greater Cleveland Urban Film festival, and I'm actually one of the co-founders and starters and idea generators along with Alton Tinker. And we've been at this for 9 years, so just working to grow every year. And I've got my favorite background behind me, the Shaker Square, where typically we are physically and have a good time. Such a quaint little area in Cleveland where you can gather, get a bite to eat, and watch a whole bunch of films. But this year, everything's virtual, which means you got to go to your computer or your laptop or something to catch up with us. But we do have two actually in-person events at the drive-in. You know, we're being conscious and safe all at the same time this year. But everything's on our website, gcuff.org, Greater Cleveland Urban Film Festival.org. If you Google that, you can find us. And there's a complete schedule. We're working hard to just kick it off starting on September 10th.
Okay, now did I hear the super producer Felicia Haney say this is what number film festival for GCUFF?
Nine.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. It's amazing when you think, especially since it started just as a grassroots, we kind of want to do this. Let's see how this goes, kind of thing. You know, the first year, I ran around for a whole year telling everybody I was going to start a film festival, and somebody believed me and wrote a check, and that's really how it started. And so we just keep gathering checks along the way. So if there's anybody out there with some more checks, because you know the commitment is to be a institution. You know, another arts institution. We have the amazing Peroune House here, which has a long legacy of an art institution, and they're just forging forward. So we want to be another institution that has the same longevity. So, you know, our folk always have a place where their projects can be seen. So, you know, I see Connie's on here, who's well lit because she's a filmmaker, so she knows what to do. You know, and we were fortunate to have Connie actually contact Alton Tinker with the idea for a youth film program. So just like I've been running this big festival land, she's been single-handedly growing the GCUFFLINKS youth group in their whole filmmaking.
Well, you know what? And this gives us a good opportunity to introduce Konnie Peroune. Man, Konnie is so dope. Man, anybody's just seen Konnie work with the youth and how hard she does and the great things that she gets from them. Man, those things, I've sat and been a judge at the GCUFFLINKS competition and was blown away on how talented these kids are, not just as actors, but filmmakers, editors. She has them setting up lighting and sound. Man, it is incredible. Konnie Peroune, please introduce yourself and tell us about GCUFFLINKS.
Well, hello, everybody. And, you know, I have to give a shout out to Donna and Alton because, listen, I remember my old Cleveland State days 20-something years ago. And there was nothing. There was no festival for African Americans. And I remember being in a collective group, and I don't know if you all know Dr. Allen. He used to teach film and communications at Cleveland State. But I remember the huddle. It was like 40 people in his apartment, and they were talking about trying to start a festival. And it didn't happen. It wasn't the right time. So my hat's off to Donna and Alton because this is not an easy thing to pull off. They've tried it before and it was not easy to do. And here we are 9 years later, and it's amazing. I'm just so glad to be a part of this organization and attach myself to them any way I can, especially when it comes to pulling in student filmmakers. Again, I was a student. I was playing around with a camera, not knowing what I was doing really. You know, my siblings and we would reenact in living color, and I would record and tell everybody what to do and dress everybody up and get all my cousins and whoever wanted to be a part of it involved, but it was no program. So I went on to, after Cleveland State, I went to Columbia, and I was like, you know, it'd be really nice to go back home and do something because there's so many talented kids there. And I talked to other organizations, and at the time in the early 2000s, no one was interested in teaching kids. They just weren't. And just so happened one of my films showed at GCUFF, and I ended up at a filmmaker's breakfast sitting next to Alton at Zanzibar. And I was like, hey, you guys ever think about like doing something for kids? And he was like, you want to do it? And he was like, let me talk to Donna, but I think that we can do this. And so that's kind of how it happened. And then we're now 5 years in. So 5 years later, 75 plus students affected in a great way. We have 11 films produced under GCUFF, and the students come in as early as, yes, as early as age 13 to, I would say 18, 19. Some of them stick around and don't want to leave. And I will say one of our early GCUFF students who came in the first year, GCUFFLINKS student, Zarya Johnson, is now, she was the camera person, she was the sound, she was the editor, the researcher, she did everything, and the narrator for the documentary that they did the first year, East Cleveland, A Tale of Two Cities. And she's now a journalism major at Kent State University.
Nice.
Kent State.
Yes. So my thing is like, we reach out to as many students as possible. And I will not tell you that this is an easy program. We've had students say this is way too much, I can't do this. But for those who are serious and they want to learn the craft, that's what we do. I've had help from Crystal Panther Collins, who came in and like helped me run some acting workshops. And we did a 6-week session with some kids just to kind of loosen them up in front of the camera. So we do a lot of different things. We touch on writing, directing, camera, you name it, we do it.
Okay, now you mentioned 2 things that you just kind of let roll off your tongue. You said Columbia, that you had come from Columbia. You know, it's a street over in the Glenville neighborhood called Columbia. So talk what Columbia is. Let the people know where you come from with your filmmaking expertise.
Well, I want to say first, it started off at Cleveland State University. I had no idea. I was a theater major. I went to Akron 1 year, transferred to Cleveland State, had been writing, but not knowing what it was. And I ran into Dr. Austin Allen, who was like, you're writing scripts. Like, this is like heavy. You should take some of my classes. And that's kind of how it started for me. And I had some wonderful things happen while I was at Cleveland State University. I got a wonderful experience. John Bond is still at Cleveland State. Rick Pitchford. So all those people are still there that taught me. And then I went on to Columbia because I wanted more. I knew at the time Cleveland did not have the stuff that I needed. I wanted more. So I went on to Columbia of New York. But while I was there, I realized that I'm at school with people who are from all over the world, who went to school with Steven Spielberg's children, and they were exposed to film at 7 and 8 years old. So it was a part of them. And I was just like, we got to do more. I mean, we got to do more, and I got to go back, and I would love to give back in some capacity to young people. So, you know, that's kind of my experience in a nutshell when it has to do with focusing on kids. My focus was because I realized that there are a bunch of people getting a lot of information, and it's not trickling down to places like where I grew up.
Okay, and shout out to Austin Allen.
Oh my goodness.
That brother used to be a Black Panther.
I know. And then what's crazy, Jamal Joseph, who was another Black Panther, was one of my professors at Columbia. So it was,
see the Panthers. Yeah. You rolling with the.
I know, right?
You rolling with the Panthers. Yeah, no. Yeah, shout out to Dr. Austin Allen. Mm-hmm. And we appreciate all the things that I know I do, and I'm sure that Donna does.
Oh, absolutely.
Appreciates all the things that you do, because again, to see the kids working and making film in all aspects, because you have them doing the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And I know from the times that I've been a judge, you ask us judge them for real.
Yeah.
Don't placate them. Let them know.
Yeah.
So, so they can have some things to work on. But yeah, no, those kids they put in work for
Yeah,
sure.
Jill, I would add even the artwork. So, we're loading their films on the platform for viewing, and then I'm asking Konnie for posters and synopsis and just the artwork that they put together to depict their film just makes you want to watch it. It's so interesting. So their talent not only is they're just learning every aspect of how to really present an interesting film, because you get so many things. The concept might be good, but the poster is like, well, I don't know if I want to watch that, or the trailer doesn't even have the best pieces in it. So these young people coming out of her workshops are going to be very well prepared for the future.
Okay, and before we go in with Donna, and I know Felicia probably has lots of things to say, I want to give a shout out to some of the people on the thread. We have Mika in Florida, what's going on? And of course, what's going on to Dawn Ross. So, and my brother, Ini Aret-Shan Kalafani, one of the writers of Spears of the Masi, Volume 1 and Volume 2, From Spears to Pens. So if you want to know about these two books, information. Hey, let me tell you, Konnie, you really want to check these out.
I will. Yes, I'm sitting here like, okay, I got that. Yes.
You really
definitely will.
A historical survey of the minds of African warrior scholars, Volume 1 and 2. These brothers put it down. And Volume 1 now has gone to the motherland, to Gambia, to share that information with youth and adults over in the Gambia. But man, my God, Donna, you put in so much work on this, year in and year out. And Felicia, can you hear me, Haney?
I was wondering if you wanted to share, because wasn't your daughter in the GCUFFLINKS program?
Yeah. She and Konnie is so nice. She's worked with my daughter in GCUFFLINKS and actually out of GCUFFLINKS, and it led to her, my daughter, being the only black person of color, the only black person, only African American, to have a play that she wrote and one that she directed as a part of New Stages at Shaker Heights High School. They have all kinds of people, directing and acting, and they're not playing over there. So Konnie worked with her, but so she was able to have her play produced and to be able to direct a separate play. Of both, she was the only person of color to have a play produced and to be the director of a different play. But yeah, big ups to Konnie. She, man, like I said,
Jordan is so talented. She is such a brilliant writer. You should be very proud.
I'm
very proud.
Very proud of her. I'm very proud. But now, Donna Dabs, my goodness, I don't know how you get this done every year. And this year, I don't know how you get it done on regular years. But you were able to adapt and adjust and take this thing virtual. Tell us about the work that goes into putting together a film festival, much less during a pandemic.
Oh my God, I try not to really think about it, but the beautiful thing here in Cleveland is we're just such a connected community. And I can get help from a lot of people that have watched the work over the years and want to contribute to the success, like Konnie, Felicia, and yourself. You call people to say, hey, I need some help with this, and people are right there for you because they realize how important it is to provide these images of ourselves in different light. So I don't know how sometimes I get it done either, but like anything else, just one foot in front of the other and you keep it moving. And then you're building on top of your success every year. So, what I know now is much different than what I knew when we first started. A lot of times people ask me, if I'm in film, if I have, I know nothing about movies, but I know how to get stuff done. So that's really where I put, and then I let the talented people like Konnie and the other filmmakers, you all can make the films. I'm just making a place for you. So, if you look at most things like that and compartmentalize it, you can get a lot done. And I just tap into the talent again, as I said, of the people that I know, like Felicia, I know you call her your super producer. She can pretty much get anything done when you give her just some ideas and some directions. And, she will go powerhouse, put some stuff together for you. So, a lot of it, I have ideas and I know how to get stuff done, but it's really with the help and support of the community that we make this happen every year. So when we were all charged up because we came off a great year last year, record attendance, weather was great. I got the picture behind me. So we were up and running and like, this is going to be a great year. And then here comes the pandemic. But, being in a network of other festivals and, looking at what the Cleveland International Film Festival did. And so, they had the problem to solve very early on. So then we looked at, platforms, what we could do, realizing that we weren't going to change, the climate wasn't going to change by September. We made the decision pretty early to start to explore solutions. And then, then you got to figure out how the solutions work. So we did all that again with a great team. So I'm pleased that we actually have 9 days. To me, it feels like the regular festival because I'm working 15-hour days and, making sure things are tightened up. It's different when you're working, by yourself because there's nobody next to you to yell at and say, help me with these things. So that's really the difference. But for me, it feels like the only, I think, difference for me is once September 10th start, beside the drive-in event, I will be able to breathe because we don't have people flying in and worried about, logistics. Felicia's picture just scared me. I thought you were in like a scary movie for a moment because
You never know with Felicia.
So yeah, but did I answer your question? We're really ready. We pivoted. We've got some things that hopefully people will feel like they have an experience of a festival, with the drive-in component, a couple of panel discussions. I know, Chill, you're kicking off our opening night conversation. So we've got all the elements that we used to have. We have a filmmakers lounge. So like Konnie made that connection when she sat next to Alton. That's the first time I heard that story. So that was, I learned something every year how some of this stuff happens. So.
Well, and really quick, Donna, you talked about I'm helping out on opening night, which I did last year as well. But can you talk about some of the people who've come through GCUFF? Who I mean, you've been able to bring in some names and connect
Yeah.
some people to this.
Yeah, I was just talking about that earlier with somebody. The funny thing is, like a lot of the guys that we brought in, the male actors, I realized I've been in love with most of those all my life. So I just kind of look around, who do I want to actually meet? But we had Terry Vaughn was so gracious and joined us a couple years ago. One of the Tracy Braxton, she was a film, she joined us. So we've really been able to take advantage of, getting celebrities to come to Cleveland, and they're very gracious and people meet them. Our very first celebrity was Esapatha Merkson, and she had a wonderful film, The Contradictions of Fairhope. So we're moving to our 10th year, so maybe we can reach out and see if she'll come back and bring that wonderful film. Bill Cobbs, he's a Cleveland's own. He's done both voiceovers for us. I think he was at the first 3 or 4 festivals. He was a staple on the scene. So yeah, we look forward to continuing to bring names to town and other celebrities that we can get to meet. Because people love to come out and, schmooze and mix and mingle and get a picture or two.
And Felicia, when we talk about, and we love Bill Cobb, but he will forever be known as the man who killed Nino Brown. Nino Brown.
Idolater.
Your soul is required in hell.
Soul is required in hell.
Yeah, that's our man, Bill Cobb.
Yeah, he actually kicked it with us one night at the View. I don't know if anybody remembers the View that used to be downtown, but Bill Cobb.
That's the night that y'all were out like all night long, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I'm tired and ready to go, and he's still going.
Yeah, he was hanging, but
we
so
love
many
him,
great
Felicia.
people. Yvette Nicole Brown, she joined us last year. We even had Freeway Ricky Ross come one year.
I know that was your hookup, Felicia.
Not the rapper, but the real Freeway Ricky Ross. So
Robert Townsend.
Oh,
Robert
yes.
Townsend,
And Leon.
Leon.
Mel Jackson. Darren Henson.
Yeah.
Like I said, all the guys that, I had crushes on. I'm trying to see who's left.
Hashtag ain't that the truth?
Yeah, no. And I mean, it to come, you guys have had so many great celebrities and filmmakers show up and are accessible. They hang out, they talk to people, they take photos, they give advice. I see so many filmmakers, budding filmmakers, starting filmmakers are able just to walk up to a lot of these people and not just getting information during the panels, but a lot of times one-on-one situations where they can just stop. And a lot of these people are very accessible.
Yeah, they'll be hanging out on the square. You know, we put that tent up last year and it really became like a lounge hangout place. You could grab a bite, stand there and eat, wait for the next film and meet, a filmmaker and talk to somebody who has big budget, Hollywood productions going on. So we even had a pitch contest last year where there were people from the industry where they could pick up a project. Say you have a idea for a show, a screenplay, it was an opportunity to pitch that in front of people from, I think, 4 or 5 different TV stations. So, and we get to know these people more and more every year, and they get to know us, and we always have such good comments and feedback, which I appreciate, people, the love and the warmth that they get from the volunteers, and everybody wants to see everybody have a good time. And that's the experience we really are creating, because we're ambassadors for Cleveland. We want people to make movies here in Cleveland. We want them to, move back to Cleveland.
Absolutely.
So we're just doing our little bit to, make the world more pleasant during that week of September.
And I just wanted to ask Konnie, to have your kids there. When I say your kids, I mean the GCUFFLINKS, to have them there and to have the availability of all of these filmmakers and their talent and expertise and know-how, knowledge. How is it? How do the kids feel? I mean, I know they're psyched to do their own thing and to see their thing manifest on the screen, but to even be with all these other adult filmmakers, how do they enjoy that?
It's fascinating for me to watch them because they're so young. So you see just like the excitement, and they're just like, can we go to all the films? So they go to as many films as they want. They get their passes and they are strapped up. And like, once their film show, like, I don't see them, like they're gone, like for however many days they're taking in films. And what's nice for them to suck up at such a young age, being exposed to professional filmmakers and how things move and shake in the GCUFF Festival, it makes them rise to the occasion. So those students who stay on board, they already know what's expected. And so they're always trying to be better and learn more and suck up as much information as possible. They're learning how to walk up to somebody that they might admire and strike up a conversation. They're young, so, they're kind of intimidated at first, but, Yvette Nicole Brown, it was funny because that was one of the students when I was interviewing them for this short film, The Stories We Tell, about the GCUFFLINKS that will premiere this year at the festival. They were talking about how exciting it was to walk up to her because she had been someone they watched on television, but they were intimidated. And one of the young ladies was like, "Oh my goodness, it was so great. She touched my back." And I was just like, "Oh my God." She was like, and then once she did that, I realized, she's very approachable. So I kind of relaxed and we were able to talk to her. But, so they are getting this wonderful experience that most children their age do not get. And it kind of lights a bigger fire within them.
God, man, that's man, just to see those kids. Like I say, and Connie, the times that I've been associated with the GCUFFLINKS, I still see those kids and their parents. And they say, you were a judge, or you're Chill from, I met you, my child was in GCUFFLINKS, and you saw her film and you gave her some good advice, you know. So I know this thing has grown to a family. So Donna, you guys are growing participants from an organic level.
Yes.
So that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Now, Donna, can you walk us through some of the days and some of the things that the people, and how do they find out about it? Let's take care of that first.
For everything's on the website. So since it's virtual, the website is the key to unlocking the GCUFF magic. So gcuff.org, there's a tab on there for passes. So passes are $150. They're really reasonable. There's a bunch of free stuff. So there's a pass pretty much for everybody. You can just pick an individual ticket if you like for a film. And the schedule, there's a flippable program book that you can download, or you can just pull up on the website and flip the pages and read it like a magazine and read all about the films. Or there's a film schedule that you can log on and go through each day and see all the films that you want to pick to watch. So the key to any film festival is planning. And the virtual version is just like, the planning isn't quite as intense, because, you know, in a festival, things are competing. So there's film, there's panels, there's workshops, there's all this other stuff. And then theater 1, theater 2, theater 3. So you have to plan, I want to watch this movie on Tuesday at 3 o'clock. So it's a little bit of that. We wanted to keep that experience. So the films run from 9 in the morning to 11 at night each day. And they could play again on another day later in the week. But you'll have to look at the schedule and figure out, each film probably plays twice. Some are only one time because we're limited for some. But that's really the key, is do a little, peruse the book, peruse the schedule. You can watch trailers on some of the films and get an idea of which films you really want to, you know, watch, and get your ticket. There's a lot of free things. GCUFFLINKS is free. Hollywood Kids, which are the younger students, 6 to 12, their program is free. There's some music videos that are debuting on, I think they're all from Cleveland filmmakers. So you can watch that for free. There's some panel discussions. There'll be a top actors studio workshop. So anybody that's interested in a Q&A with some instructors can pipe on there. So I keep talking about stuff, and so there's a lot of stuff. You know, we started with the plan just to do a simple version of the same festival, but then we get, you know, all excited, and we have all these opportunities for people, and it's not easier, but, you know, people are more accessible now from the platform. So we're just taking advantage of that. So for people to learn about acting, there's a monologue competition, so there's some competition there. They can jump on the student symposium and watch some things for free. So there's just, I'm sure I'm missing something. There's a filmmakers lounge, Connie, so it's not going to be a breakfast, but it's going to be a lounge, because we wanted to be more conscious of people on the West Coast, you know, the time zone. So if we did a, you know, early morning breakfast, it'll be the crack of dawn out in LA. So we didn't do that one. Yeah, so I think did I cover it all, Felicia?
Just about everything.
Yeah.
Like you said, there's the pass for $150, but there's also other forms. So you can get a student pass, which I believe is like $25.
Mm-hmm. And you can watch everything.
You can watch, then you can buy a 10 film pass, which is about $75.
Yeah, you save a bit of money. And we're going to the drive-in for 2 nights. That's the most exciting piece.
Yes.
So we're encouraging people on Saturday to come dressed in 70s gear. So, you know, we don't want to do too much, yes, because we still want
to get the pop locking up in here. Bring your rerun hat and pants.
I'm coming in my Mac outfit.
I think Felicia probably will win the costume award or the outfit award, as she usually does, because she's not gonna have it if somebody looking more 70s than her. But so, and then Forecast Band will be playing when the drive-in opens and before the movie starts. We have a special sponsor, Lionsgate Antebellum, the movie coming out. They're going to provide us some special masks. We have some gift bags. Friday night is a DJ Mark Who, so he's going to spin some tunes before the event starts. And we're doing Shaft and Girls Trip on Friday night because we wanted a funny kind of action, keep you awake evening.
And this is the most current Shaft. So what is that?
Yes. So, we didn't want to do
Jackson Shaft.
Roundtree.
Yes. And the young guy, what's his name? I like that. I like that version of Shaft. So we're just going to have some fun on Friday. And then Saturday, we're just going to go back to 1970 and some change ago. The young people won't know nothing about it, but we'll, because Five on the Black Hand Side, have you all watched that recently?
Oh, not recently.
I've watched it never. I've never seen it on myself.
And somebody made a comment on social media, and I'm happy that we have an old film that not a lot of people have seen. I mean, I saw it years ago, but I hate to tell my age, but I re-looked at it and it's like, this is still relevant. So we're trying to find a 70s movie, because I watched a couple other ones that were probably featured another time, but it was so 70s that I'm like, you can't do two of those in one night. So
too much jive, too much
Black Hand Side. Hey, but you know what, Donna, you talk about the new Shaft, the Shaft that you're going to show, the Sam Jackson Shaft. I told y'all that story. I got a story for everything. I was on the set when they were filming that Shaft. There was a scene where they were at the Lenox Lounge with everybody. Even Richard Roundtree, the original Shaft, was in the scene that I was at. And the short story was the director, rest in peace, John Singleton, put us over in the corner and said, okay, everybody be quiet. We're going to shoot this scene. Don't make any noise. And of course, my cell phone is going off, making all kinds of noise. And Sam Jackson looks over and he says, who in the F has their cell phone on? And what Sam said, Sam, he know how to say that word. He might be the greatest F-bomb dropper in the world. Ever. And he said it so hard. I looked at the dude next to me and was like,
him?
No, you didn't.
Oh, shoot. You thought I was taking that from Sam? No. I looked at the dude next to me and was like, come on, man. You know what this. Yeah, but no. But I was there. So that was I had the opportunity to be on set when they were shooting at least that scene in Shaft. And then got a chance to talk to Sam Jackson after it was made. And I brought that up. And he said, oh, you was the mother flipper.
Can you call him and see if he wants to come to the drive-in and run through here real quick?
You know what, Kevin? Actually, when I was living in New York, they shot a scene from Shaft in my building, 790 Riverside Drive.
Okay, so Konnie, so you remember when they were shooting Shaft, it was cold as hell. Hey, that was the coldest day I ever. Dude said it was 40 below. And that's my whole little chill, like 40 below. It was literally 40 below. So yeah, that's kind of, what's that behind you? That looks so cool. The books, what's that? Is that a pillow? What is that?
Oh, that's a pillow.
What does that say? That is so cool.
It's a pillow.
Oh,
a room without books. Sneakers. It's like can you read it?
Like a body
without a
soul.
Yeah.
Man.
Can I pull out something?
Oh, look what are those? Is that a gift for me, Donna? That looks like my size. What is that?
This is our raffle item.
Oh man, come on. Forget the raffle. You just need to slide that right to me. Felicia, look it up.
You need to enter to win.
Oh, come on, man.
Aren't these amazing though?
How many times
banging.
You get 5 chances to win for $10.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, see, all the sneakerheads out there, they want that one. So how much is the raffle for that? It's a what?
It's
$10.
You get 5 tickets, 5 chances to win for $10, and we'll ship them to you. Except for only the continental U.S. We're not shipping.
Okay. Hey, Sean, I know you watching out there, Sean. Sean's a sneakerhead. You know, Sean, you might want to see if you can he get in the raffle from Tennessee? Can Sean get in the
Yes,
raffle
he
from
absolutely
Tennessee?
can. He just logs onto the website, go to the schedule, and the raffle. There's a spot for the raffle ticket as well as a T-shirt up there already. So, but then winner will be announced at the closing night ceremony, and then they're going to select the size, whether it's male or female, what size they want. So it'll be custom. You know, those are mine, but they just have to be on display.
See, that's what I'm saying. What? Okay, we gotta have renegotiations of my input in this whole thing.
You're gonna need a pair of sneakers.
Man, come on, Felicia. You're supposed to look out for me in this endeavor. But
What I
anyhow.
have to do with it?
Oh, now, okay, all right. We see how this is going. But Donna, tell us opening. Okay, the drive-through. Now, where is it at?
Mayfield Road Drive-In, which is in Chardon, Ohio. So it's about 15 good minutes from Mayfield and Somme for those that are in Cleveland and familiar with it. It's a little bit like you're driving out in the country, but I know the first time I went, I'm like, where is this place at? And where are we going to? But it's really not far. It's only 15 minutes past Somme and Mayfield, a little winding road drive. The doors or gates or place opens at 6, so it'll be daylight when you get there, which I would recommend driving there in the daylight.
It's like a, I think it's called Sand Hill Golf Course. If anybody plays golf and is familiar with that, I know some people say that's the drive-in is their landmark. Saying that they're getting close to the golf course. So
yeah, I didn't go past it because I was happy to arrive there. But yeah, so it's open at 6. The film actually starts at 8:15. The first film, which will be Shaft, and then there's a 10-minute halftime intermission, and then the second film will show. So we've got lots of lovely gift items for people, and they can come out. It's $30 a car. So, you know, if, like back in the day, if you're all safe with your family, you want to stuff the whole family in the car, $30 is the deal.
Okay, now is that include a van as well?
It includes whatever's in your car.
Okay, because back in the day, Ken Ferguson would take us to the drive-in in his van, and it'd be like 27 of us in there.
That's fine. You just gonna park in the back. You can't park in the
piled up in the trunk.
You can't park in the front. And I hear people drive SUVs and back them in and lift the lids, but you have to park in the back. There's some drive-in etiquette that I don't know about anymore because it's different than the last time I was there. So hopefully we can share a couple of tips for people when they arrive, like things that make it more enjoyable. So the concession stand will be open. We have a few gift packs, but there's not enough in there for you to get full. You know, I don't know what you bring in your car is what you bring in your car. To, you know, just have a good time.
Legally.
Don't ask, don't tell policy.
Now I know that Felicia has been to the drive-in for different events. Yeah. Felicia, what is the going to a drive-in? Some people, you know, no school, they have never been to a drive-in. But what's the drive-in experience like?
So there is, I mean, even for myself who had been to the drive-in, you know, as a kid, but I hadn't been in so many years, you know, probably since they closed, maybe Miles
drive-in, right?
Drive-ins. So there had been, you know, quite a few years in between since I had gone. So, you know, it really is, even for an adult, I think something that there's just this certain nostalgia, you know, about going to the drive-in, because it's just not something you get to do all the time anymore. But really, even when it was available more so all the time, you know, it's just something special kind of about going to the drive-in. It makes it a little bit different. So I think that people will really get a chance to enjoy it. Have been out there recently. I went to the Mayfield as well as the Ravenna drive-in, where we here on ChillTalk have been sending some folks out to the drive-in in Ravenna for something Michael B. Jordan was doing this summer, where he was giving it was free for you to come to the drive-in on Wednesday nights, and they were showing like a lot of the great films that we all know and love. And they just did the last one this past Wednesday, last Wednesday. They did Girls Trip as well as Coming to America. So yeah, and we had a couple of folks from Chill Talk go out there. They loved it. People sent messages and things and saying how they really appreciated going. And like I said, that one was in Ravenna, and people still drove to come out there. So yeah, just leave in the daytime. If you don't drive at night, you get you somebody young with some good eyes.
But it's a short drive back to the light, so
yeah.
So no, for anybody, the drive-in is old school, good family time as you can get. And especially, you know, it's social distancing. You're watching films, but you're in the car. You're with your family, and you're outdoors. So even if you get out your car, you're outdoors. So yeah, no, I would suggest to anybody, please take advantage of that experience. It's especially for this event. This is something that I would suggest that you do. And speaking of Chill Talk, I do want to say what's going on to the people that are in the chat. What's going on to my man, KD, Kenneth Dyser in the building. Again, anybody that's watching this on Chill Talk, feel free to share this show for more people to find out what's going on with GCUFF. And also, if you want to make a donation to Chill Talk, you see the Cash App on there, $, I forgot what it is now. $ money to chill. That's it. $ money, the number 2 chill. If you want to make any donation to Chill Talk, that's how you do it for right now till we get back to the radio station. But yes. Now,
if you ain't got no money and you want to get a free roof, hit up Iman Roofing.
ImanRoofing.com for the free roofing inspection.
Free.
But free. But really quick, since we have Konnie here, Konnie, in New York, you know, they have lots of famous film festivals all up and down the city. How happy, and I know you talked about it, but how happy are you, especially as this grows? And people, this is no longer just a local thing. It might have, even when it started out, it wasn't really local because it was, you know, Donna and Alton and them had done such a great job of getting that information out, and all the different people. Certainly it wasn't just those two, but all the people that they've worked with, it's been a national, international thing almost from the beginning, but more so now as it grows and grows and grows and grows. But how proud of you, of Cleveland, of GCUFF, to see where they have gone, especially knowing what happens in places like New York City.
You know, like I said earlier, when I was younger, around age 19, I just know that there was nothing. There was nothing here. No one ever talked. It was the Cleveland International Film Festival. Outside of that, that was it. I was with GCUFF. I was in the GCUFF Festival, its inaugural year, which was amazing. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. And I remember meeting some filmmakers from Detroit. And I didn't really know Donna and Alton like that at the time because my film was in the festival. And I showed up and I was like, wow, this is great. Like, this has never been done in Cleveland. And I never will forget this filmmaker from Detroit. He looked at me, he was like, where are you from? I said, I'm from Cleveland. He was like, wow, so this is how y'all do it here, huh? I was like, yeah. I'm proud because it didn't exist before. And to know, and I'm sure there were a lot of people that thought, that's just 1 year down. You know, we'll see if they'll come back next year. Year number 2. Okay, we'll see if they'll come back next year. Year number 3. You know, and next year will be the 10th anniversary. That's huge. It's not easy to pull off. And I know Donna works her behind off, like year round. It's not something that you sleep on. You have to keep doing it, you know, no matter what, you have to keep lighting the fire. And it is not easy to do. It's not. It's not. And I'm very proud.
Konnie, you brought up that you know, back then you spoke with people from Detroit, and hats off to all of you guys, because this is something that Cleveland is this is a showpiece in the Black community, because a lot of times us who travel, and for people who had never been to Cleveland, you know, and when they came, I don't know what they expect of Cleveland. Now, obviously this year is virtual, but all those other years and for years to come, this is a showpiece for people coming to Cleveland, because so many times that I've been, specifically in New York City, where they say, "You from Cleveland? Like, do y'all have cows there?" Man, I'm like, come on, stop it. Stop. But, you know, it gives a chance. And I've talked to a lot of people at GCUFF who had never been to Cleveland and were like, "Oh my God, Cleveland is dope. This is nice." It's something that they never expected. So yeah, and it gives a chance, like you said, for Clevelanders to be able to get out. Yeah, of course, you know, we have the world famous historic Peroune Theater, but like Donna was saying, this is, we're now, you guys are putting that, you know, on a level, not, you know, with the historical years, but right, as a showpiece for Black people, entertainment, to be able to go out and experience these things. So, no, hats off to you guys, man. You're making Cleveland look good, Donna and crew. Good job.
So I'll just kind of piggyback on it and say, I think that one thing that distinguishes GCUFF, which is the Greater Cleveland Urban Film Festival, is that you know, like many other film festivals, though, it is a labor of love. Most of the people who are involved in it is volunteer, but it's such a labor of love, you know, that people are so in tune with this and love doing this, to the point where, you know, we love to see the fruits of that labor come together. So once it happens and it's, you know, it's festival time, you know, by that time we want to enjoy ourselves as much as we can, because we're still working.
You froze up, Felicia. You froze up. But until
I could just add one thing when you were talking about the Cleveland Pride, is we did a Choose Cleveland tour for a couple years where we rented a Lolly the Trolley bus, and we took filmmakers from the breakfast on a tour of Cleveland. And I know the first year when it was 80 degrees, sunny, gorgeous, I was like, this place, I was so impressed on that entire tour. I couldn't believe I actually live here, because we started on beautiful Shaker Square, wandered down to University Circle, wandered through the gardens, Martin Luther King, made our way to the lake, the Rock Hall of Fame, went across the bridge to Edgewater, Tremont, Ohio City, and worked our way, stopped by Caramoo and worked our way back. I was like, yeah, you know, and I live here, but I never saw Cleveland from that view. So the tour we decided to keep every year, so we won't have it this year. Next year will come
in
back.
Our mind.
Yeah.
Right. But no, don't just those places that you named. I mean, to see that on a collective tour is a good look for Cleveland.
Yes.
To see
especially
those
on an
places.
80-degree day.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
You know, and you know what? It's funny because and Konnie knows this, and I'm sure Donna, you know this as well. But because of the makeup, the character of Cleveland and the greater Cleveland area, that's why we've become a point of interest for filmmakers who can come to Cleveland, because they can come. And I tell people all the time, especially filmmakers, come to Cleveland.
Oh, absolutely.
We can access everything except for tropical and maybe mountains. Other than that, we have farmland, we have big city. Of course, we've been featured in films as New York City
I know,
numerous amount of times. We have waterfront, like I said, farmland, big city. We have hills, we have dales, we have urban, suburban. We have big giant mansions. You know, We got broken down bandos. You want to make a film? Come to Cleveland. We have all the looks. And people, and Konnie, as a filmmaker, you can attest to that.
There's a lot. Cleveland is a beautiful place to film. It is. You can find any type of genre that you're looking for. You can find the right location. It is a beautiful place to make film.
Yeah, and
nobody can say it's not.
That's right. Too many films, successful films now have been made here. And Donna, when you were talking about other filmmakers and other Felicia was bringing up other film festivals. Did we lock in my man, Gil Robertson? Did we lock in Gil?
Yes, we did. I need to follow up with Gil for the plan a date. So you just reminded me. Yes, we locked in Gil. So, he's going to be, I know there's a lack of African-American film critics, or there needs to be more. So he's going to talk about like what that means, how you get to be one, why it's important, and all of that good stuff. So, because I'm intrigued, everybody's got an opinion about everything.
Yeah, I brought it up. Gil Robertson is the CEO and co-founder of the African American Film Critics Association, AFCA, based in Los Angeles, and I'm happy to be one of the founders of AFCA. But Gil, I tell Gil, he's the Nat Turner of Black film critics. So Gil made us. He put us all together and led the way and turned AFCA into this big beautiful thing now. And for you guys to have Donna, for you guys to have Gil coming, we're not coming down, but he was going to come.
Yeah, he was very happy and excited about the opportunity to come to Cleveland. So hopefully we can get him back next year. But I was floored, even when he's been on my peripheral for a few years now, because that's what I started thinking about, concepts and things that we can do and people we can meet. And then I saw a picture, you posted something about you and him founding that. I'm like, what? I know somebody that knows somebody, so let me call. So thanks for making that connection. But that's really what it's all about is, looking around our own network and who knows who. And, you'd be surprised at the gems that you can connect to just by starting to talk about some of the things you want to see happen.
Okay. Now, is there anything else that we need to know, Donna? We have opening night. We have the panels. Any specific panels? Because that's another thing, man. You guys have some of the best panels, filmmakers.
Yeah, they're like the little known secrets. So, and then we're adding some things, if I can get capacity and time to pull these things together. So I'm glad you reminded me about Gil. I'm like, oh my God, I got to send him a note. So I had a chat. I was on Vicki Trotter's show with Harold Crawford, who's a costume designer, one of the first original Black costume designers in Hollywood. I'm like, oh my God, we got to have you talk about, and he's like energetic and full and rich of history and information, motivation and inspiration. So I'm working on that. So we definitely want to, people want to look out for that. So the main thing is to stay tuned in to the website updates, check the schedule every day and kind of see what happens, because, I like to take advantage of opportunities, and, the challenge is just having the resources to really pull it all together and make it look professional, which we want to do. But in this environment, it's much more forgiving because of the technology and people learning how to, really put on these productions this way. So we're going to just bring you as much as we can, along the way to keep you engaged and keep looking at what's happening at the festival. But there's a lot of great documentaries. Like, I love documentaries and I love inspirational stories. Now, the horror genre and some of those things, not so much, but there's something really there for everybody. But there's a couple documentaries that I was really interested in having, and one is called the 6888, and it's about African-American women's auxiliary that supported the troops during World War II. They actually were shipped over to England to clear up the backlog of mail, and they did it in record time. So just to see those images and hear that story, and I think I've watched every war story on the internet or on these streaming services just because I'm interested in it. But I was like, here's one I had never heard about. And my great aunt was in the Women's Auxiliary, so it was very near and dear to my heart. Then there's another interesting one called Uncivilized, where this guy decides he's tired of the current environment and he wants to go live off the land. So he's on an island, and it's right before Hurricane 5, or what, I forget what year was that horrendous hurricane hit. So it's about him, how he survived during that hurricane. So that's really interesting to watch. So then there's one, Pigeon Kings, about the men that raise pigeons for competition. So
Oh, nice.
That's fascinating.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. There's so many good movies to watch, and then there's dramas, shorts. You know, everybody doesn't like want to spend 2 hours watching a feature, so there's, you know, buckets of shorts, and the shorts play 5 or 6 short, and they're kind of themed together. So there's comedy, there's drama, there's over the top stuff. So there's really something for everybody.
And I love shorts. I love those film shorts, and I suggest anybody who, you know, is not used to going to see film shorts, do yourself a favor and go see. I do want to give a shout out to you. I've recognized my brother Sean as one of the authors of the Spears of the Mossy Volume 1 and 2 of the Kofi Pie-Sci research team. But we've also now from the Kofi Pie-Sci research team, we've also been joined by Kofi Pie-Sci in the building. So big ups to that brother. Hey, congratulations on Volume 2 from Spears to Pens, and congratulations on Volume 1 getting over to the motherland. Man, again, brother Kofi, that was incredible to watch that footage of those youngsters in Africa, one by one, holding your book, talking about why the information about their own history was important to them, reading it from you guys, man. I'm a grown-ass man, and it brought tears to my eyes to hear them talk about that. So big ups to brother Kofi Pie-Sci who has joined us. But Donna, you neglected. You talking about documentaries? Lord have mercy. Y'all got Cleveland sold the comeback.
Oh yeah.
My man, Uncle Red, Amos Red Turner, my former manager from my MC Chill days, Fever Records, touring with Run DMC. Uncle Red has a project in the film festival.
Yes.
Cleveland sold a comeback.
Yes. I'm really excited to be able to share this with, because Uncle Red called me. I just know him as Red, and said, I got this hot documentary or something he's working on that you just gotta see. And I'm like, okay, Red. So let me, film submissions are kind of almost about to close, but I'll come and take a peek at it. And, it's a very well put together. It's his story. It's also the story about him helping young people, and he wants to really make it into a series, so it'll have a life just beyond. But this is just the first part of his own personal story of his comeback, which, now wants to translate that for younger people, helping them come back and learn what they need to do, and not necessarily have the same experience he did. So I'm really excited for him to be able to debut this film here, as well as the future of his film. And he also has another one of the music videos is from one of the young people that he's working with.
My brother Corey Kane.
Yes.
Corey Kane in the building, yes.
I like that video. So, we'll probably have more music videos in the future, but it's a great way to showcase the talent. I know that's one of the things you talked about when we first got on here, is there's so much talent in Cleveland, and our own community is really starved for ways to share it and have it accessible for everybody. So again, this is one way, and the more successful we are, the more we can help the community, because we support the festival through employing people part-time or sometime. And, we're always, for opening night, we use our small businesses to support those, to cater and transportation. So, there's a whole industry around a film festival. So as we grow, we all really benefit from that.
Right, and we have the super producer back. Donna, how do people, because obviously it's upon us right now, but so many people have, as I've been talking about GCUFF upon us, you know, lots of people that I talk to around the country like, Chill, how can I get my film? Because I just saw an incredible film by an independent filmmaker in Rochester, film called Fat Jesse, and oh my God, I was very much impressed, but obviously it was too late. But how can people start gearing up and getting their film submitted?
Film submissions open in January. So January 2021, we'll have if they're on Film Freeway, they'll get a notice that the film, or just look for us on Film Freeway. So submissions might actually open February 1st. I have to look. But anyway, the very beginning of 2021, you can have film ready, and they go up until May 31st. So that's our hard deadline. We have a little opportunity after that because we're still looking for more projects to kind of fill in, you know, because you don't want to have too many of this and not enough of the other. So sometimes we actually have to go out and curate our own collection of films too. So I would just say go to our website. If you can't find us on Film Freeway, shoot us an email at info@gcuff.org, and somebody will get back to you and help, because we don't want to miss a good project either.
Right. Now, I want to say, Donna, you're going to kill me for this one, but it also just came to mind when you start talking about Harold Crawford. There is a costumer, Cleveland native, who's a working costumer in Hollywood, Malia K. Ford. Kent State University, who's worked on Blackish. She's worked on Dolomite with Eddie Murphy. I mean, she's worked on a lot of stuff, but that's somebody who you might want to reach out to.
Okay, could you send me an email regarding the
I will do that. Malia K. Ford. I will send that out to you. But she's working as a working costumer in Hollywood and has had several projects. But I'm proud of all.
Yeah, because the costuming is important. I don't think people really realize how important that area of creating a character and keep, because sometimes I'll watch a movie that might be caring about, but the clothing is just everything. So,
right.
You know, I stay interested to see what they're going to wear next.
Right,
so.
right. And Malia has worked with the queen of costuming of Black films for sure, Ruth Carter.
I love everything she puts on everybody. It is just everything.
Yeah, so I'll send you that information about Malia. We have Felicia back. Where'd you go, Felicia?
So I think they shut the internet off on me when
the building closed.
When the building closed, because I was like, wait a minute, what happened? And then I saw everybody walking to their cars leaving. So I'm like, maybe they shut their internet.
So you pulled up next to McDonald's and
I had to get into the front seat and hook my phone up so I could tether. You know, we gotta make it work.
Right.
Make it happen. All right. I have my brother Daryl Shake and Bake Sullins in the building, who's actually in the process of being in a film shot in Cleveland, and he says what's up to the super producer. So, as a matter of fact, I think I'm an extra in the scene that Daryl is being filmed in. Hey, I'm gonna make the best. Woo, man. Hey, I was in Los Angeles one time. I had like one line that Shay hooked me up with. It was "Let me see your ID." was the line. I was outside the building of the club. Let me see your ID. Man,
sure wasn't Motisa.
No, it was let me see your ID. Let me see your ID. Man, I worked that line. I had 20 different ways to say it. Man, I'm trying to get an award for asking about IDs. But yeah, no, I was happy to spread that information. Again, if you're watching the show, feel free to share the information. But yeah, it was something else I was going to ask Donna before Felicia came back in. I can't think of it right now. Oh, Daryl says his scene is going down on the 13th. I think I'm playing a deacon in the scene.
You got some work in the scene.
I need to make my scene a little bigger.
All right.
I need to.
Well, I wanted to ask a couple of things. one was, I don't know if it's necessary. I guess it's a question/comment. Because I've had the pleasure of actually being able to work on this film festival from more than one side. So I always tell the story early on that before there even was a Greater Cleveland Urban Film Festival, we had talked, even Chill, we had these conversations around the Call and Post, like we should start, a Black film festival. So,
Right.
Before Chill and I started ChillTalk, if there's some people out there who happen to not know, we did work at the Call and Post newspaper, a historic newspaper here in Cleveland, for a number of years, covering culture, art, and entertainment, amongst other things. So, but saying that to say that we've worked with film over the years, for quite some time, and going to these junkets and going to, we like, man, it's not a lot of Black representation, or we were only going to ones because for Black representation, when there were like Black films, and we're like, there should be more, more of this going on, more of more ways to showcase us, our talents, and what we do. So we had talked about starting a film festival, and then appears Donna and
Here
Alton.
they come.
It came out of the Soup Network, but they decided to put together, and Soup was Society of Urban Professionals. So they have been putting on these great events around the city, networking and bringing urban professionals together. And then that kind of, built up and this film festival manifested. So my question would be, how exactly did that manifest? I know you talked about you had just been wanting to put it on and somebody wrote you a check, but what made you decide that, hey, this is something that's missing, or whatever your reason is that you want to share, how this came to be?
I'm glad you wound me back to those soup days. So it's all relevant for me. When I grew up in a neighborhood that was very close knit, and the Black nationalists and the Black, it was the movement of the end of the '60s, yeah, and all that stuff. So, I saw the neighborhood change, and I knew what the neighborhood did for me, because you knew every family on the street, all the kids. There was a corner store where all the men hung out and sang, and mostly everybody's daddy drank too much and all that. So it was just a rich, lively, and then somebody on the street was running a bootleg place where you could get something to drink, and then the people next door, somebody might get shot. It wasn't like it is now, but
The good old days.
the good old days. So that, and then I went off in my way in the world to make my little mark, and worked in corporate America, and you marched toward Pretoria, even though the reality of that this ain't really a good time. But
Marching towards Pretoria. Go
through
ahead.
college, I took a lot of the Black Studies classes, which resonated in my heart from the experience that I had and the history before me and how we got here, and Martin Luther King gets shot. So all of that is relevant. So, and I read a scripture that said, "My people have died for lack of knowledge," and that stuck with me. So I felt like my job is to do something that helps people know what they should be doing in life, or have an idea of their contribution, whatever that is. So it all that manifested in opportunities, and that was where Soup came in, because I recognized our folk really weren't getting together. We didn't really trust each other. We don't know each other. So the first way to do anything with anybody is to get to know them and trust them. So it was important to me when I met Alton, he was doing Soup, that went further. So that kind of ran its course. Everybody, okay, networking, you got that, you know what to do. Now what can we do? So then I was challenged when I actually went to the Cleveland International Film Festival with someone, and I didn't see too many people of color. I didn't see too many movies and that was a number of years ago. They have a little better variety now, but I was challenged to start my own. So all of that I just talked about before in that moment appeared for me. And I was like, you know what? We were fine when I grew up on St. Clair, and I could go to a Black business and get me something, and I could walk to the library, and the community took care of me. So that was really the kind of the force behind the fact that I was just energized and said, I can do this. And then like I do anything else. And that's why I said, I know how to get stuff done once you make up your mind and you believe that that's that thing that you're going to do. I mean, we didn't have like $5 to do a film festival. And Al and I had done a lot of things together and we're very successful at rallying people. So we already had a built-in audience. That's why it was very successful with one theater. Now the challenge is get beyond that network and that people that we know, we need. So as Chill, as you mentioned, growing organically, that's that organic growth. The people we know came, they tell the people they know, they come. So you add a little bit marginally every year. So I think the virtual version this year helps us really expand beyond just the people we know. So hopefully that answers your question. It's all rooted in my journey through life and desire to see us have different impressions of ourselves, because my impressions were broad, they were positive, they were young people achieving, there were families succeeding, there were people moving out to other neighborhoods because they had gained some wealth. Those are all stories that are of a rich life. It's not just somebody, we're gonna steal and rob and, be a basketball player or there's more to a life than all of that. So that's really the passion behind my desire to have a film festival. And then Alton and I had worked together for a number of years getting things done. So we each brought different strengths to the table. So the festival is alive and thrives because he has a checkbook.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm creative and I want to buy I want to, what is those lights that flash when you come up for open at night? He's like, you have to have that. And I'm like, yeah. It's like, there's no money in the budget for that. It's like, okay, well, I guess I can do it out. So that's really in any organization, and I ran a small business development center for so many years. So it's really, again, running a healthy, sound business production. Yes, you have to keep growing. You have to have a valuable product, but you also have to have some money in the bank to write those checks, because we've seen so many organizations start and they can't continue. And that's why, because you spend up all the money. So that was a long answer to your.
That was a great answer to a very good question, because that's something that we need to know. And thanks, Felicia, for asking that. Really quick, we've been joined in the Chill Talk audience. My BFF, LaDosha, right in the building. Felicia, I believe LaDosha is involved, and she has something in the film festival. Is she a part of something in it?
Well, she doesn't have anything in the film festival in terms of a film, but she has come on as somewhat of an ambassador, so to speak, this year at GCUFF. So she's like a community partner for us. Her and her salon, the Reverence Design Team. So she is going to so graciously. She is going to promote a film for us called No Lie. It's an American
beauty story.
And so that actually shows twice during the festival. It shows Saturday, September 12th, and then it shows again on Wednesday, September 16th. So the cool part about that is, especially with this showing the 2 times, you've got a little bit of an opportunity to watch it before LaDosha hosts a talk back for this film. So for those of you who don't know LaDosha, she is everything when it comes to hair and education, in terms of hair. So we just felt like this would be a great fit to pair up with her on something like this and bring that community over to GCUFF to discuss it, after watching this film. So watch it on Wednesday. Watch it on Saturday, then get a chance to watch it on Wednesday. And she'll be joining Chill Talk. So it will be LaDosha here with us. Same bat time, same bat.
Has LaDosha been on Chill Talk before? Is this her first time on Chill Talk?
I believe it.
We'll be glad to have. That's my BFF.
In this capacity.
There you go. In this capacity. Way to
So
go,
yeah,
Donna.
we are excited to have her and come and join Chill Talk and have that conversation. So that will be pretty awesome. So make sure you log on. And LaDosha has her own um, discount code. So make sure if you're not following LaDosha, follow LaDosha right, and she will be giving you all the information and how you can get a half off ticket to see the film. So make sure you do that. And we are excited to have her next week. I see she's in the chat talking about how excited she is.
Well, that's how LaDosha gets down. She's always excited, always upbeat, always positive. So, and I love her for that. So, it's going to be good to have her back with us on the show. And I'm looking at Konnie. I'm like, I know I told Konnie, Felicia, I told Konnie that we was going to need her for a half an hour.
I told my husband, I was like, do you believe that? He was like, okay, 2 hours, good. Okay.
Okay, long as you know. That's my man.
He must have seen the show before.
Right.
I said a half hour. Okay.
We hold you hostage on Chill Talk.
Felicia told me to tell all the guests, we just need you for a half an hour. And we really need them for 2 hours.
No, but as I was mentioning before, I've had the pleasure of serving a GCUFF in a lot of different capacities. So even outside of the whole wanting to start the film festival, then pairing up with them, I started coming in to GCUFF covering this event as a journalist, and then I got asked to host some events, some Q&A sessions and things like that, and then eventually just became a part of the team, which was so awesome. And then last year, I got to kind of be flipped into a different role where I actually had a film in the festival. So I produced my first film. We showed it last year at GCUFF, and even working with the festival for 8 years at that point, it was still different for me. It was still something special and something to look forward to now be able to show a film, that I worked on in this festival. So it's just an amazing vehicle, and to be able to have something like this in Cleveland, for us, by us. And, I just hope that there's 10 plus years for it to, to come.
GCUFF is going. We are about that FUBU life. That's what's up. Oh, while everybody's watching, I do want to make an announcement. Everybody saw, I kind of announced it a few days ago just to save the date. But my birthday is this Saturday, September 5th. So I'm going to be doing like a virtual birthday hangout. So I'm going to put up and then we'll have a couple of surprise celebrity show ups. So we'll see how that works. But I've invited a few people. So you never know who's going to show up to this virtual chill birthday hangout. It'll be on Zoom. So I'll give out the Zoom information. So everybody on here, Donna, Konnie, you guys, please stop by at least just to say hi to me and happy birthday or whatever. And would appreciate it. But yeah, so everybody out there, look for me to post the Zoom link, and you'll get a chance to see a lot of my friends and all my various avenues of.
And I'll send you my address for that DoorDash. You gonna send
we
me?
Still working on that DoorDash, Felicia. I know
I told him I ain't coming to no party without no food. He better DoorDash me something.
Right. So we working on that DoorDash. We working on the sponsor for Door. Speaking of that. If you want to donate to Chill Talk so we can get this DoorDash thing going on, make sure you hit us up on Cash App, $money to the number 2 chill. And I got a new PayPal thing, but we'll just rock with that right now. But I appreciate that. And Konnie, tell your husband, it's my brother right there. I appreciate that, man.
All right, got it. I'll let him know. We'll get the books, that's for sure.
We can't let either one of you out, though, before commenting on, we had this devastating loss this past Friday. We lost actor Chadwick Boseman, which everyone, was taken by surprise with that loss. So just to know, not that I've known him personally, Chill, by the way, has got a chance to interview him. And he's been sharing that on YouTube. So if you haven't had a chance to check that out yet, Chill, you can let them know how to check out your interview with Chadwick Boseman. But I feel that everyone kind of seemed like they had this connection with him, you know, like that he was just not just Black Panther, you know, our superhero on the screen, but he just did so many great things, you know, in real life. Just going back, looking over a lot of the things that he has done and things that he has said. So I just wanted to take time to first acknowledge that, and, you know, say rest in peace to him, but maybe talk to you guys about that news, you know, how it came to you being in the film industry, how you're affected by it. I know it's last minute, so is there anything that maybe the festival is doing or wants to do to honor him?
Yeah. We're working on a tribute that will probably be at the drive-in, so more to come, you know, on that. But personally, you know, I was touched by every film that he was in, and actually went and watched. Black Panther was one of the ones we really wanted to show at the drive-in even before this happened, because it was such a great film and such a good role model, but you know, they wouldn't release that for the drive-in. But I went back and watched, I've watched Marshall, which was amazing. His James Brown performance, you know, was amazing. So I'm just going back to watch all of his films as my personal tribute, because you're right. I feel like I remember you called me to tell me, and you know, I wasn't shocked, because when I watched him in The Five Bloods, it, you know, it just really looked like something was more wrong than, you know, all the things that they were trying to say. But it didn't really affect me until the next day, because I was in the middle of something. It's like, oh, that's so tragic. But the next day, my heart actually hurt, and it still hurts slightly. But what I've learned to appreciate, that, you know, people's death pretty much reflects their life, and sometimes it's more meaningful for you, you know, that his short term and time and everything that he made was just so impactful. And now to listen to other like personal speeches and comments, then it kind of all comes together of who he really was and what he did and the legacy that he's leaving for us. And he'll live more now than ever, because I thought, you know, I wasn't thinking about Chadwick Boseman every day. Now I think about him every day, and I just want to go back and watch his films over and over and over, and my heart's warm now even just, you know, thinking about it. So that's just kind of my 2 cents, is that, you know, he did that. He left his legacy in the world at the time he needed to. And I think that's what all of our jobs are, is to go hard in the paint, as they say, and just, you know, live every day like it's your last, treat people well, you know, so when you do go, when your time's up, wow, you know, people appreciate the fact that you lived, instead of, you know,
Right.
that's so-and-so. That's my
Right.
too.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. And then you know, just thinking like of the selflessness in it, to where he knew that he was struggling with this disease, or battling this disease for the past 4 years, and look at the body of work that he gave us in 4 years, and he didn't use that time to use it as a, oh, woe is me, you know, take care of me, feel sorry for me, do, you know, he used it, or all of his celebrity or whatever he had, to make it better for other people. So that's just, I feel like a lesson to all of us.
Yes.
I agree with both of you. For me, especially for me, I'll take it from the youth perspective, because so many of the students in the program, my daughter who's in GCUFFLINKS, she was the one who came down and told me, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. And it's amazing to me how, and like Donna said, I wasn't thinking about him every day. I mean, you know, I watched all of his movies, but now you do. You think about him every day, because it's like, okay, so I can't complain about a headache. Let me just get up and do what I need to do, because that man carried all that with him. and shared it with very few people, and he went to work. And he lived every moment to the fullest. And when I look at the youth, they're really impacted in greater ways than we know, but also they're more resilient than we could ever imagine. Like now that we're days removed from his death, like my son, the children in the program, when I was interviewing them, something came up, a message about, him and the right, just remembering to vote. So they just so happened to be watching, the two of the GCUFF students were watching it while the camera was on. And their reaction was powerful. And the way they looked at it was, that's why we have to do what we're doing. That's why it's important, because he's a hero for all of us, and we all have work to do. So they're looking at it now as a way of just inspiring themselves to do more and to be better and to be greater and to make more of an impact, because we don't know. We don't know when our last day is. So what are we going to do with the time that we have here? So it's interesting for me to see young people take that perspective and dig a little deeper within themselves to be better creators, artists, writers, directors, producers, whatever.
Yeah, well, I was actually doing a show. I was on air doing a Zoom broadcast when I think Felicia, our guy Crazy D, hit me up on I don't know if it was in the thread, but he told me that Chadwick Boseman had died. And us, Felicia, as journalists, we want to make sure that we had the correct information.
Mm-hmm.
How many times do we hear that something has happened to somebody, and not that Crazy D, because as a journalist as well, I knew that Crazy D would not be giving me information that wasn't factual. But I couldn't stop the program that I was doing. I was live, and I kind of started letting the people on the show do what they were doing, while you could probably still go now and see me, in the background on my phone, kind of pulling stuff up, trying to contact some of my LA people, and sad to find out that it was 100% true. And as Felicia said, I had a chance to sit down with that brother in the early days, in his first starring role as Jackie Robinson. So he was, when I had a chance to talk to him, it was one-on-one. We had a chance to kind of kick it a little bit and talk off camera, and the access to him was real great. But he seemed so youthful and young. He wasn't the Panther at that point. He hadn't partaken of the purple, the power of the purple flower. But he seemed so youthful, and we talked about things. Well, you know what? I'll talk about that later, because I know BJ Betty Halliburton reached out to me, and possibly I might contribute something to the GCUFF honoring of Chadwick Boseman. But yeah, if people want to go and see the interview, my one-on-one interview with him, they can go to my YouTube channel. Just look up Kevin Chillhard and find the Chadwick Boseman interview. But man, that one, I could hardly finish the show. And so proud of him from where I saw him start in the movie 42. And Donna can tell you, GCUFF probably showed Panther 500 times, and we went from every single theater to this theater. That gave people a chance to dress up and celebrate. And he will be so connected to that role, and that was something that he knew. I had seen him in several interviews where he talked about forever. He was getting used to the fact that whenever he went anywhere, they would give him that Wakanda forever, no matter what role he played. But yeah, and that reminds me, brothers, prostate, colon exams. Please go get your checkups. Get your prostate exam, your colon exam. Please go out and do that, because this is real. Our health is everything, and those are things that most times, if caught early, is preventable from it spreading. So, you know, and you know what? I'm doubling back and calling my doctor, and to make sure that I take care of those things, at least to catch back up, to re-up and getting those things done. But yeah, I look forward to, Donna, what you guys may pull together to honor him at GCUFF, and certainly I was honored to get a call to contribute to that as one of the only people around here who was able to actually sit down and talk to him. So it's a loss at the beginning of his career, which was going to be illustrious. But you know what? Appreciate that brother for the time that we had him. He's left us with some treasures that we can go and see, and it's organizations like GCUFF that will be celebrating and raising the next Chadwick Bosemans, the next young up and coming stars. You can see a lot of these people in their beginning works, in their early works, and even as they get established, they come back. That's another reason why GCUFF is so important. So Felicia, if you have anything else you can wrap this up for us.
No, I think we about covered it from the rooter to the tutor. So now all we need is you guys to join us.
So I'd like to thank Konnie and Donna for joining us. Make sure you guys support GCUFF. As Donna said, go to the site, look at all the films, see what you want to see, participate, see the schedule. And hopefully I'll see you guys at all of the events, from the opening ceremony to the drive-in.
Did you talk about opening night? You hosting opening night?
I'm hosting opening night. Yes. Donna, what am I doing? What have you recruited?
You hosting the talk back with the movie is The Best of Enemies. You did say that. And then the talk back is with the director and people affiliated with the film, Ann Atwater's daughter. So the film was about Ann Atwater and the KKK headmaster guy, coming together at this time when the schools were not feeling integration. So the talkback will be with the director of the film. It's his first director project. He's been a producer on, I think, Hunger Games and some other big films. And another gentleman that is the person who's responsible for connecting Ann Atwater and the KKK person who eventually became, it's a real life story about adversaries that became best friends. So,
Felicia, I believe we did a giveaway for that one time, for that film. Did we give away some totes or something like that? I believe so.
A Klan hat?
No. No, that would be something different. But yeah, join me for opening night as I do the.
Because you're gonna stream it on your Facebook page, right?
Yes, it will be streaming on ChillTalk. We're hooking it up into ChillTalk. So my ChillTalk people will, y'all have a front row seat to that to see that. But no, we thank you guys for joining us. Donna, one more time, let the people know what the site is for them to go see what it is they need to find out.
GCUFF.org, or Google Greater Cleveland Urban Film Festival, which will come up and you can get right to the site. Go to passes if you want to buy passes or individual tickets. Go to the schedule to download the flip book or peruse the schedule and see what's happening for 9 days.
All right. Felicia, while you were gone, we talked about Cleveland Soul, the comeback. Uncle Red has a film in the that's gonna be lit. That's what's up.
There's no talk back for that one.
Red can handle that. He's gonna handle that his own self. And we're trying to see, Felicia, I don't know if that was still the case. Maybe you get a chance to talk to Gil Robertson. You were gone when I was talking about Gil.
Oh yeah, Felicia's gonna actually facilitate that conversation.
Felicia, don't ask Gil about the elevator, stuck in the elevator again.
I'm asking him about his uncle.
His uncle.
Ma'am.
Hey, Donna, Gil and I were stuck in an elevator for almost an hour in New York City. It was my actual second time being stuck in an elevator at a junket. But yeah, for like almost an hour. And that's Felicia, you can go over that story with Gil. That was hilarious.
Yeah,
I want to hear that. I want to hear that story.
Gil had to end up slapping Chill because he was frantic. He had to get Chill to calm down.
That did not happen. We know that didn't happen, but we were about to have to smack somebody in that elevator for getting a little frantic unnecessarily in the elevator, but it wasn't me. But yeah, no, that's a good story. But again, thank you guys for being on. Anybody
Thank you.
just watching the show, please share the show. Support the people that support us. Konnie, again, you the bomb, girl. Keep doing the thing and helping those kids. Donna, you are Wonder Woman. You know, you just need the bracelets. Ping, 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 ping. Oh, you do have the bracelet. Look at that. Okay, see, there you go. All right, Haney, we will talk later. But thank you guys for tuning in to Chill Talk. You know what it is. We love you. You know how we finish this one to everybody.
Thank your husband, Konnie, for
Guys, did good. Yes, I surely will. This was great.
Oh, and Sandy Scott, thank you for joining in. Share it. Go back and watch the whole thing. Hey, we up out of here, Felicia. Throw up them deuces. We gone. Peace.
Peace.